Okay, and so that's the secondary motion we need to make, is, well, what do we want to see from our income from taxes? And then there'll be those other revenue factors play into that, but that's what comes out of the taxpayer's wallet, is income from taxes. And that's the integral number that we want to make sure. And the $2.5 million got added on top of that, okay, of total money that we brought in. The total revenue we brought in is equal to the total amount of money we spent, $25,687,243. Those numbers are the same. The total amount we appropriate and the total amount of revenue, they're the same. So you end up with zero in the budget. So this income from taxes number would be the second motion that we would present, as far as trying to keep that relatively in line and see a plan about maybe what we're going to do with some of this money in the near future.
Representative Merrill McCarthy, and then Merrill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I distinctly remember that the amount to be raised by taxes was well over the previous year. And in order to make it palatable, they said we will infuse $2.5 million to bring that down to where it was level with the year before. So there was really no big increase in the amount to be raised by taxes. That's my point. If we don't do that again this year,
Gotta make it up.
it's going to be $2.5 million more from the very beginning. So that's why I say this using rainy day funds is a slippery slope.
I agree.
But we have always done it, and we've always never gone as high as the 2.5. That was stimulus money and
That's right.
whatever.
One shot.
It was a one-shot deal, so we have to watch what we're doing, Representative Merrill.
Yeah, Representative Babson made a relatively simple motion. And we've been beating this thing all around here and discussing things which, in my opinion, should be taken care of by the commissioners. So anyway, I'd like to move the question.
Okay. All those ready to move the question, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, there's a motion by Representative Babson, second by Representative McConkey, to hold the line with a guideline of 1% increase of total appropriations.
Expenses.
Total appropriations is the
Word
word
expenses or
on the
appropriation? That's the word.
MF appropriations.
Appropriation, okay.
And that's what's on the MS 42. That's the words that it calls, okay? All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those opposed? Representative, okay, 10-1. So you have a guideline of 1% for it, noting all the other things that we're going to have to do. All right. Anybody else? Representative Algren.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to make the motion that as a guideline, that the commissioners bring forth on the new budget that the income to be raised by taxes be as close to this 1% increase as possible. However, in light of the large amount of money used from the quote-unquote rainy day fund that we'd like to see, and the amount of money that should be left over from building the nursing home, that we would like to see a plan of the use of those funds.
Now, wait a minute, you've got about too many
many
lines.
things.
Let's go. I can't. You've got the commissioners bringing in a budget with an income by taxes be as close as possible to what, as in it's a guideline.
It's a guideline.
Be close, 1% as close as possible to last year,
Until last year, 12.845, so.
to last year's amount. Let's not try to add any more explanation to that. Are you okay with that? That the commissioners bring in a guideline for an income by taxes to be as close to 1% as possible to last year's amount.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Representative Umberger. Do you want to have any more discussion on that? And this is a guideline. And I think what we're gonna do is that we are going to have some education of what we do and how we get to wherever we are, so that perhaps we can all understand the process of what happens with surplus and everything, and how we get to the bottom line number of income by taxes. Everybody okay with that motion? All those in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay, so we've got that. So you know what you want for.
One opposed.
One opposed.
One opposed, oh, I'm sorry, with Babson opposed. Okay, so it's 10-1. Okay, we have a guideline of total appropriations at 1%. We have a guideline for income by taxes is close to 1% is what we had last year. And so that's where we're going. We also would like, without a motion from Representative Algren, if you do it, a plan on what you're gonna do with the leftover money from the nursing home, just as consensus to give it. And I think that your plan of what's happening with the nursing home, when you have that together, perhaps you can bring those comments to us at that time of what you plan. You should know by then how much is gonna be left over and what we're gonna do with it. And what you plan to do with it, and undoubtedly, you can tell by now what we would like you to do with it. So, everybody all happy with that? We're all done. Okay, we're done on that. Representative Umberger. What?
I wanted to make a motion.
Okay. Oh, we're done with that one. Okay, Representative Umberger, you make a motion?
Yes, to approve the minutes of our August 22nd meeting.
August 22nd.
I think that was the date.
To approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Representative Smith. All those in favor? Say
Aye.
aye. Those opposed? Okay. Yeah, Representative Absent?
I'm abstaining, Madam Chairman, because I wasn't here.
And with Babson abstaining.
I wasn't here either.
You can abstain or you can vote, whichever one you want.
I can abstain.
And with Pettingill. Okay. And Representative Pettingill abstaining.
I do have one other thing that I'd like to mention, and that is April Carpenter is no longer, this is not April, in case you were.
This is Robin.
April Carpenter is no longer able to do our minutes because her job has changed and she is now working on Monday morning. But I do think we owe her a great deal of thanks for the diligence and the accuracy of the minutes that she has done over the last year, I think it's been. And I personally appreciate it, and I think that, I hope that the rest of you do as well. So I'd like to ask, I'll write something up for Betsy and we'll get something off to her, thanking her for what she did for us.
So we do that. And also, I think we're going to have to look at, when I came on board, it was $100 to do the minutes with mileage. I remember Representative Chandler saying that. I used to take the minutes and print them up and type them up and do everything. When it ended up having another W-2 form, my husband told me I couldn't do it anymore. So then what happened is it has not changed since then, and I've been around 17 years. So I think that during our budget time, we're going to have to increase who we're going to get for minutes and pay them more. I don't know what it's going to be, but I do know that it takes a lot of time, and of course, to listen to us has got to be more aggravating than
Combat pay.
So that will be good. Representative McConkey.
Madam Chairman, you're saying you're willing to come back for more money?
No. So,
The other
Yes.
thing I'd like to add is that if there is any of the delegation that might know of someone that would be interested in taking our minutes, they should contact Robin. And this, not only the delegation, but anyone that happens to view this meeting knows that we're looking for someone. And if they would contact Robin Reed here at the county offices, we'd be more than happy to take a look at them and you know, it's not a great job, but it's a job.
Okay, right now, so then I don't forget what we're doing, I would like to be able to have a motion to go into convention
So move.
by Representative Umberger. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Fleck. All those in favor of going into convention, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we're in convention. I would like a motion to ratify the 3 motions that we just did regarding the 2 guidelines for the commissioners and minutes.
So,
So moved by Representative Merrow, second by Representative Fleck. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, okay, we're all right with that. The motion by Representative Umberger to come out of convention, second by Representative Fleck. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, okay, we're out of convention. Okay, all right, that's good. Now, what I would like to do is the commissioners have a few things that they need to talk to us about, and we'll see what we need to do. So we're back
Okay.
here and.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you.
First of all, I think you may have read in the newspaper, especially the Sun, I'm not sure about the other paper, but a deputy from the Sheriff's Department graduated from the Police Academy, top in the class, and we wrote him a congratulatory letter, and his response to us, to all 3 commissioners, was, "I consider it a privilege to have attended the academy, and I look forward to serving the county and its citizens. Sincerely, Brian Ague," I believe it is, A-R-G-U-E. He did an outstanding job in that police academy, and it doesn't always happen that we have the top honors going to Carroll County employees. So
That's good.
I also agree with what was discussed in the beginning. We definitely need to do something with the assistant county attorney pay schedule. I've had several talks with the county attorney. He also believes we need to increase their wages. I know Representative Umberger felt at one of our meetings that there are a lot of graduates that are coming out of school and that we can hire those. They're requesting more money now also. When somebody is getting less than $50,000 for an assistant county attorney, and they can go to a place like Belknap County and get it for $90,000, that says a lot of why we're not keeping our attorneys and why there's a turnover. And as you said, Madam Chairman, we have one assistant now that is looking, and if a job comes up, he's going to be gone. I think what we need to do, and I've talked with County Attorney Dewhurst, that we need to come up with some statistics as to what they've been doing, what their schedule looks like, to better justify any increases, whether it's 3 or whether it's 2, whatever, we need to increase their pay. So we'll be coming in with a recommendation and with documentation to support that. We have a lot of really good employees here at the county. We can't recognize all of them, but we should be able to recognize several, 5 or 6 that don't fit into that 1% category based on merit. I think we agree that merit is the way to go. I don't necessarily agree with across-the-board increases, but when people do exceptional jobs and we evaluate them, I think they should be recognized not only personally, but in the funding of their position. I have 4 items I'd like to talk about. One is I sent around, everybody should have a copy of it, a letter that I got from the Supreme Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. You people, you legislators, gave them some money to do this visual conferencing equipment that they're going to be putting into 7 different House of Corrections and some 25 courts, and 1 at the state prison, I believe. That's the carrot, that they're going to pay for the equipment. The cost is going to be, after the first year, we're going to have to maintain it. What is this going to do for us? As she said, it will reduce our transportation costs. Now, our jail is just down the street, and a courthouse is just across the street. May not save us there, but when we have people in other jails, in Coas County, Stratford County, Merrimack County, it could be video